All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of BeanTown, Banter, and Bullshit. We got a special guest tonight here with us. I went to high school with this kid. He's a man now. He's done great things for the community, sports-wise. He's, we'll explain as we go here. Steve Sargent, welcome to the show. I'll bring her right on here. Let me grant you access.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. And
All
now
right.
we're going to, hold on, we got your video started here. You should be able to get it started right there.
Okay.
There you go. There he
There I
is.
am.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Sargent. Steve, how are
Oh,
you
Mike,
today?
how you? I'm good, Mike. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I can't complain. I'll tell you, man. Good to see you. Good to see you.
See you too.
Good to see you. So,
Been a while.
yeah, it's been a few years, man. I'll tell you, I haven't been down the lake in a while, but I'll tell you, you're still around there, right?
Oh yeah.
Still around the lake, yeah.
Still
So,
down there. Following St. Paul now and coaching down. I'm coaching on that field now too.
yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
so
it's fun.
give me the lowdown on DiMaggio, my old Little League.
Oh
What's
God, let's
actually
see.
happening?
Well, they approved once they knocked down Montcalmo. We kind of knew it was over.
Yeah,
And now it's pretty much official, seeing that the city has okayed a 351 unit housing complex
yeah,
on the site of the church, the minor league field, well, the church, the little league field, and the rec center. There you go. That's,
1990.
I like to see that.
That's look at that thing. That thing's fresh like I got it yesterday. I told you I
That's
peaked
great.
athletically when I was 12. But
That's
so
great.
so it's done now for good. There's
There's talk about city putting in a field over at East Park,
yeah,
right next to the cliff.
yeah. Well, their minor league used to be over there. I know.
And then we just used. Then when I was coaching, we used it as a practice field.
Yeah,
So we'll see how long that'll take.
yeah. Well, we got to keep that league alive, man.
We're trying.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
you struggled for years down there, right? I know.
Yeah.
You definitely put
It's
some effort
been-
into that.
Last couple of years where we've had two teams,
Yeah.
but on the flip side, honestly, baseball's down everywhere.
Right.
I think Tom Ashley is no longer. They moved up to. They folded in those kids. The baseball kids went to Garrig,
Yeah.
and the softball girls went to Jack Barry.
Yeah. Now, what do
So
you think that's attested to? Do you think it's because all like the strike zone and all these AAU teams now, the kids are getting on?
AAU, lacrosse,
Yeah.
and I think these kids don't want to. baseball takes too long too, I think, in some people's eyes.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And these kids just don't want to be hanging around for 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah. I get it. I get it. The attention span, I get it.
And the parents don't either.
Yeah.
That's why when I was at DiMaggio, I really called it babysitting, to be honest,
Yeah.
because their parents would drop them off and leave.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like it used to be. That's for sure.
No, I mean, I think I had 15 plus years down there. And I'm still involved as a safety officer. I'm just not coaching down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but I had fun while I was down there.
That's good, man. I mean, I know I saw you put a ton of effort into that. I know the community appreciates that. The
thank you.
DiMaggio alum appreciates that.
Oh, thank you.
So let's go back. What we really wanted to talk about. I mean, I know you started pretty much helping out Dickie Maynard, right, down the lake.
Yeah.
That's what. And what haven't you done for Holy Name? I mean, you've done everything under the sun for them, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I enjoyed it up there.
Yeah. Are you still involved?
Yeah, I mean, now that it's St. Paul's, I still do all the basketball, boys and girls basketball games up there. I do the scoreboard. My wife is the cheerleading coach at St. Paul. She was up there for 20 plus years at Holy Name, maybe even 30. And I'm the president of the Holy Name alumni.
Yep, and you're also head of the admin of the alumni page.
Yes.
I was laughing. I was like, "Come on, man!"
Yep.
Get me through.
Not to toot my own horn, but I'm also a Hall of Famer up there.
Hey, listen, they're an absolute legend. It's not even a question.
Thanks.
So did you watch the one we did with Diego and all them?
I saw bits and I didn't see the whole thing yet, but I did see bits and pieces.
Yeah,
that was good.
Those you remember that era, man. Basketball, I don't think has been the same since then. And you remember those days.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Yep. Diego. Yep. Kareem.
We did the other one with Ross too.
That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even my senior year when we got to the state final. We at the Centrum. That was fun.
Yeah.
We had Neil, but he was hurt. But that was a fun time. And
absolutely.
I mean, they got back to the state final and I want to say 06, back-to-back state finals. I think 06, 07. But really, I think that's been about it.
Yeah, those days. That episode was fun.
Yeah.
So, what was it like coaching with Dickie Maynard? Now you're coaching now, right?
I'm coaching now. Yeah, I just always did the scoreboard when Dick was coaching Grafton Hill.
Yeah.
And Vernon Hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I used to always go to the away games with him. He would pick me up. That was fun.
Yeah. You guys are inseparable there for a little bit. I remember.
Yeah.
Dickie was a good guy, man.
He was. And then we ended up working together.
Oh yeah.
We ended up working together when I was in probate court, when I used to work at the courthouse.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Dickie Maynard, legend.
Yes. Yeah.
So what now you said you were what, president of Eastside Babe Ruth for 4 years?
I was for 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm not anymore because there were a lot of factors to it. I mean, but I wasn't getting the kids. I didn't have it last year. I didn't have it this year. Last year because of COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I thought about it last year. once they started kind of opening up a little bit for baseball,
Yeah.
Kids were going to play senior youth, going to work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's done. I'll try it again for this year. And then Little League doesn't want any 13-year-olds anymore. They just want to go strictly to 12.
Yeah.
So there's like a 4-month cutoff where you weren't eligible to play Babe Ruth, and you weren't eligible to play Little League.
Oh, Jesus.
So they started an intermediate program strictly, but you can play up there too. You can play B12 and play intermediates too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I coached a couple of 12-year-olds, and majority of them were 13 up at Gehrig this past spring. And then they also started Little League also started a junior and senior program. So I was fighting for the same kids if I was going to be president of Babe Ruth. I went, it's not worth it.
Right. I get that.
So I ended up coaching the 13-year-olds. We had fun. I mean, we were 1 and 12, but we had fun.
Yeah.
I had a good group of kids. And now I'm, like I said, I'm coaching senior youth, and I'm coaching senior youth for the Worcester Knights.
Oh, okay.
All the St. Paul's kids, all the St. Paul's JV team.
Yeah.
And I'm coaching Maine South.
Maine South baseball.
Maine South Legion, yeah.
Is Skippy still around?
I haven't seen Skip in a long time.
Who's head coach over there?
Mike McCarthy.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, he's been there a while. He asked me to come on board in the middle of last year, and I hem and hawed, but I said, what the hell, I'll do it. Yeah. I ended up having fun, so.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
And our first couple of games already have been postponed for this year to the summer, just because of the districts.
Yeah.
Because we got some kids from Doherty, and they're in it, and East Side got postponed because St. Paul's is it. Most of the varsity for St. Paul is going to go play for East Side.
Yeah.
Because there's no Grafton Hill anymore this year.
I think I heard that actually.
Grafton Hill merged with East Side.
I mean, does Legion take a hit with all these kids playing in all these AAU leagues? I mean,
yeah,
it's crazy, right? I know.
Yeah. See, that's why. I mean, they take a little bit of a hit, but Legion and senior youth, you can have up to 18 kids.
Mm-hmm.
So not all 18 are playing AAU.
Right.
I mean, the majority of them probably are, but I think we have, on my senior youth team, I think we got about 6 or 7 kids that are playing AAU. So we have enough to have a game.
Yeah.
If those kids are away.
Do you remember Josh Keevan?
Yep.
His kid right now is he's up in Andover. I don't know if you've seen. I posted a couple of times, but the kid's a real deal. He's strong.
He was on the Maine South team last year.
Oh, LJ was.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
I mean, he fits the mold, man, and he works hard.
Josh, he can throw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's good.
He's good at the plate too. He's good in the outfielder. He's all around. It's insane. Right. But all those kids up there, that's a serious team. That Andover team.
He's going to ULOL next year, huh?
Yep.
I'll probably see him pitch.
Wouldn't be surprised if his name got called. That's for sure.
No, I wouldn't either.
No.
I wouldn't either.
So the other thing I wanted to ask you about, you had some Wham involvement, right? Remember
a long time ago. Yep, I did. I think I got beat up one night. I think I was once a special guest referee.
Yes.
And and I got thrown through the ring ropes.
Yep. You had the stripes on. Was that at?
I did. I had the stripes on. I got thrown through the ring ropes. It was at Worcester State.
Yeah. I'm trying to get these guys back on. I'm trying to get Bobby and Joey Rufo and Ross and have everybody back, but it's hard,
that'd be
man.
fun.
It's hard to get everybody those together. That's why the show I did with the basketball teams, it was hard to get everybody on screen together at one time. Everyone's got busy lives.
Right.
But even it worked out. It ended up working out.
Right. Yeah.
So, man, that's great though. That's great. So I also wanted to ask you, who is your favorite holy name basketball player of all time?
Favorite? God, it was. I mean,
it's either Singleton or Diego.
Neil. I mean, I still hang out with. I still talk to Dave McNamara every once in a while.
Oh yeah, he was good too. He was good.
So Neil, when he was around, he would stay right up on Harrington Way.
Yeah.
But and then too bad how he went.
Yeah, it's surreal, man. I know he was on a good path. He was making it as an actor,
Yeah, he was in Game of Thrones. A couple other movies.
Some good city talent, that's for sure.
Yeah, there has been.
I know we were trying to get Mike Bradley back on with those guys.
Okay.
Because every single one of them, we hated Bradley. Everybody hated Bradley. It was awesome. I don't know. He's in some foreign country or something right now. So, but
I thought he was. Is he? Yeah, he is. I think he is. I forgot where he was.
It's some Spanish country, I think. I don't know. But he'll be on. Eventually, he'll be on. Hopefully, we got some more people coming on.
Nice.
2 weeks,
Nice.
So we'll get these guys on there. I'm sure these guys want to chat with us. You been following the Sox at all?
Yeah. They're actually playing pretty good.
Have you gotten to Polo Park yet?
My first game was Tuesday night.
Really?
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I mean, the park, it looks beautiful. I haven't got down. It just hasn't been in the cards for me right yet, but I'll be getting there soon.
Yeah, it really is. They did a nice job.
Yeah. We had Rich Gedman on a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure he'll be back on again eventually, but
yeah.
They got kids mashing the ball down in that park. Absolutely mashing the ball. And he says they're in a wind tunnel down there or something.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we saw them. They won 10-1 on Tuesday.
Yeah.
They had one home run. I know they're winning right now. They're up 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
Because I got it on Nesson. They're on Nesson right now.
The insurance company initially offered $1,000.
Oh, I get it. So we got you guys on the screen now. We got Dave. This is Dave Kenny. Dave, this is my buddy Steve.
Steve, how you doing?
Good, Dave. How are you?
We got
Good.
Tom. Tom, you can hear us?
I can hear you. Can't quite see you, but I gotta switch to another screen. But I hear you. I've been watching all along and enjoying it. Let me just launch my video on my end.
And we got Mike Moen. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You are. You sound perfect.
Yep.
Great. Awesome, Mike. This is Steve Sargent. I don't know, guys, if you've ever been in a baseball game down the lake, you've seen Steve Sargent.
I'm sure we've crossed paths at some point.
No doubt.
Yeah, we
at
probably
all.
have.
I grew up on Houghton Street playing at McCahey Field, Tom Ash Little League.
Okay, yeah.
So, Steve, I'd like to ask you a question.
Sure.
Since you've been in the business so long and coaching kids, and I know you kind of avoided this question, but don't you see that the passion is not there with these kids today?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
And it's too much, and like you pointed out with the parents, that, unfortunately, my dad died when I was young, and I didn't have that somebody coming watching me play, and it bothered me my whole life. But
Right.
I had the passion for sports,
Yeah.
and I think the that has a lot to do with society today and
Yep.
kids playing sports.
Absolutely.
And how much have you seen it changed? And when did you start noticing it really
I
happening?
didn't. You know what? I didn't know it was. I mean, I could see it coming just because of my involvement with DiMaggio. You know, one year we had. I mean, I know it's been 50, I think my first year we had like 8 teams.
And you see
We're
the
down
day
at-
they had the parades down Main Street. You're my age,
Yep.
right around there, and
I was in them.
yeah, and I was too, and a kid, and and there was nothing prouder in the streets. All the parents were
Right.
out in the streets, and you just don't see that today.
No, I mean it's a lot. I mean, like I said earlier, to some people, baseball's too long.
I coached my girls for 5-6 years, and the hardest part was dealing with the parents, and that's my God's honest truth. It was the hardest part.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you know, when I first started coaching, the parents could be a handful, but then they never. Then they started not showing up. They dropped their kids off and went home.
Yeah.
Come back when the game was over.
Yeah, I call it the pull up kick out. They just pull
Right.
up.
The car's still moving, and they kick the kid out. Right, I agree.
I mean, I'm not that. I'll be 48 in November, but my sons play youth football, baseball. My daughter plays soccer, field hockey, and I don't miss the practice.
Right. You know,
I've never missed a game. I've never missed a game with my kids. They both played for St. Peter's 3 sports. Every single game, never missed. It was all because I didn't have that when my dad died when I was young. I didn't have that. And for me coaching, it was like seeing the parents just say what you do, drop their kids off. It was heartbreaking.
right.
And,
I mean,
and speaking on the parades, like when you were talking about that, like as a kid playing for Tom, it's like I would have like game day. I would have my baseball uniform on at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Like
Mhm.
it was.
Yep.
Big event.
I would too. We had the Jesse Burkett parade that started at Tatnick School and went to Jesse Burkett. So it's probably not even a half a mile, but it was literally like the proudest day of your life. When you're a little kid, when you're 11, you put on a uniform and people cheer for you just because you're going to. That was, and the whole neighborhood would come out. Everyone would be like clapping and they, give you ice water
Right.
and stuff. Does that not happen anymore? I've been out of town for a long time. Is that no longer a thing?
I don't think there were any opening days this year.
Really? So they stopped doing that sort of neighborhood stuff, like the league
Well,
stuff.
I think there were no opening days, maybe because of COVID.
Oh yeah, that would make it. Yeah. All right.
So maybe next year they'll do it, but usually there's, everyone's got a parade. Jack Barry would go from North High to Jack Barry.
Yeah, like not long, but long enough for everyone in the neighborhood to cheer and make you feel important.
Exactly.
And nowadays, you drive by parks and they're just empty. When I was a kid, it was just pickup games all day. It didn't matter what sport it was.
Right. And, that could be kids are playing other sports, or they're playing a lot of them are playing AAU, or they're sitting in the house playing video games.
Well, I think that was going to be my point. I think technology took away a lot of, because, when obviously all of us were children, you just went outside and went and found your friends. There was no texting or.
Right.
So seeing what's going on, what still drives you?
I still love the game.
Yep.
And I'm doing this. I don't have any kids.
Wow.
doing-
Wow. That's
I'm-
amazing.
I'm doing this because I still like the game.
God bless you.
And and I want to keep myself involved.
Well,
It's what keeps kids out of trouble.
commendable.
Yeah.
It's commendable because I had this discussion recently with my dad, and for instance, so his girlfriend, her grandkids, are involved in sports, and her son called her one day. I mean, she was going to the game anyway, and asked her to work the concession stand because they couldn't even get parents to work the concession stand.
Yeah, it's
They could
awful.
care less.
Right. No, I know
Shame.
it's hard. I mean, so when I was with me coaching at DiMaggio, we would get all the kids from Shrewsbury Street, and then if you're coming down Grafton Street, the right side of Grafton Street by Grafton Street School, and all of Plumley Village.
Well, there's probably some decent athletes among that population, right?
There were, and then
I would
but
think.
a lot of
Well, yeah,
like I said,
there was me. I dominated bitty basketball at the friendly house.
I don't know you, but I'm sure you did, Mike. I'm sure you did.
I mean, we had all of up in the friendly house too, all up in that area. And we went, like I said, we went from, I think when I first coached, we had 6 teams. Now we're interleaguing with everybody else.
Back in the 70s, you had O'Brien Little League, Moranville. It was unbelievable how many packed full.
Mike
He
Moen.
was sending kids down because there was too many kids.
Right.
Nowadays, you're fighting to get a team.
Well,
Exactly.
speaking on that point, because so I live in Stowe now. I grew up in Worcester my whole life, but I finished my last 3 years of high school in Auburn when I moved with my dad. But I live in Stowe now, and so it's Neshoba Regional. So it's Lancaster, Bolton, and Stowe.
Yep.
So my kids play. My boys, well, my older boy's 11. My youngest 7. He'll be starting tackle, but my 11-year-old plays tackle. And they had so 2 years ago, they combined with Maynard because there wasn't enough kids applying to play for teams. And it's because, like, I know in my town, more parents than are not allowing their kids to play tackle football.
Wow.
So we had to combine
Yeah.
town.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's trending down. People are,
Yeah.
it's
And I'll
trending
tell you
down.
what, like, I know, speaking on only my children alone, nowadays with the video games, and to get them to pay attention to anything is, like a monumental task. But I'll tell you something. You get these boys on a football field, and they transform. Absolutely transform. I think the team aspect, the socialization, everything is, they love it. They eat it up.
Yeah.
And now they
that's good.
on their own. My older one, he's starting to study the history of the game, and just super into it. Maybe because, obviously, since they've been born, they've been watching sports. But I was never like any super athlete. But these kids absolutely love it. They eat it up.
Right. No, that was good. That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, it's great.
So I have one more 2-part question. It's got to do with you seeing a lot of talent over the years, and my thought is you don't see people playing sports like Pete Rose and how Pete Rose played the game, and what your thoughts on that, how kids are today, and there's very few, and does Pete Rose belong in the Hall of Fame?
Oh,
To answer your second part of that question, yeah, I do. I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna interject and say absolutely yes, he belongs in the Hall of Fame. And
Without
as
a
for
doubt.
as for first part of your question, if you want to see Pete Rose style play, go watch like the Industrial League softball guys. Like we used to play at Crompton and stuff. People
Yep.
grind like that. Seriously, 45-year-old dickweeds like me will literally stretch out. Like,
Yes.
and like that's where you're gonna see it. But you're right. I've covered some team, like some baseball game, pretty high level, like amateur baseball, and you don't see the Pete Rose anymore. It's so rare. It's so rare. But you can find it in the older guys. Seriously, go to Crompton someday or whatever park they're playing. You'll see guys playing like that.
Speaking on Crompton Park, my dad and I were just talking about like even the level of play, like the summer league, like the Crompton Summer League.
Yes, that was actually competitive,
amazing.
man. That shit was competitive. People
Sure
were
was.
serious about that.
Sure, yeah, absolutely was.
They turned a
Yeah.
Crompton Park into a skate park. Half the corner.
I saw that.
Yeah, they are.
Well, they
crazy.
also they're doing the whole they're doing the whole park over. They
Yeah.
also just they also just put in a second basketball court.
Oh, that'll help.
So they got
We'll
two
see.
basketball courts now next to each other. Yeah, that'll
Even
help
back
out.
in the day, Ionic Ave Boys Club. Uncle Mac, John McNamara used to run it, and
Mario Sorrow.
yes, and my dad Monday nights, my dad and his friends. I was probably a teenage, 15. Every Monday night, we'd have the gym to just run, pick up basketball games
Mhm.
or do whatever. Like people just don't do that stuff anymore. It's unfortunately a thing of the past.
We're coming
Yeah.
back. We're just getting out of COVID. We're making
True.
a comeback, I think,
I
Hopefully.
hope so.
yeah.
You got to motivate these kids. That's the hardest part is trying to motivate these kids today.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
on another note about that is like I said, I grew up in Worcester in a 6-family. It was like a 3-decker, but with 6 units. And, we always had kids around, but nowadays, like I said, I live in Stowe now on the water, out on the lake in the woods. And I'm thankful my kids can go outside. The boys tonight outside playing catch and everything else. And to be honest, I wouldn't want my kids growing up nowadays in the
Right.
environment that I grew up in. Because they can't just go outside and play by themselves nowadays.
No, they can't. No.
Yeah, it's sad. That's really sad too. Can't we have anything nice? Why do people ruin it? You fucking stop.
Right.
Stop. I'll tell you, the friendly house looks good. I know they redid that not too long ago, I believe.
Yeah, I just drove by there the other day. It looks great.
Yeah. That's that'll live on forever. That's like the Worcester Rucker. That's where it all began.
Yep.
The hockey
No,
league,
yeah.
the hockey leagues back in the 80s were incredible.
Where the friendly house?
Absolutely.
Really?
Oh, they were unbelievable. Unbelievable. They had concrete walls and the police were there quite often.
Yeah.
Often.
Hey, what I wanted to ask you? Did you ever play hockey at Beaver Brook back in the day?
I did with the Oberts and I did. Yeah.
Really? So you know about that? So my friend.
I have a picture of me on the national championship team down there at Beaver Brook.
You have to get that. I
That's
have a
awesome.
friend.
We were on a traveling team. I think I still got it upstairs.
He said it was brutal over there, right?
Friendly house league. Oh my God, it was brutal.
A
It
lot
was
of fights?
concrete wall. Oh yeah. Actually, they stopped it because of that. They
Yeah.
stopped the league. It was unbelievable how good it was too. But everybody, you left there with blood on your face. And they didn't have shin pads, hockey sticks across the. Oh, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Kids
That's
today
great.
wouldn't have kids today wouldn't
No.
have none of that.
Yeah.
No, they
So,
wouldn't.
Speaking on local athletes, I wanted to bring up Gordy Lockbaum because I recently saw a YouTube video that someone had posted, and I myself, I mean, obviously I knew of him, but I never realized that he played both sides of the ball.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mike Moen. I'm 50 years old. How old are you? Just
I'll
to
be
be
48 in November.
all right. So yeah, we were right at the cusp. I swear, man. My father and uncle would talk about that guy every day. So I must have been in like junior high to high school. And yes, he played both ways. He was a Heisman candidate, and he came in like third or second. Is that correct?
He came
Is that
third and
right?
fifth.
Fifth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Mike, I was in the same basic generation as you. I knew he was a freak, but it was only years later that I realized why it was my father would get up at 8 o'clock and bring me to Holy Cross where I drink hot chocolate under the bleachers to
Yeah.
watch this dude named Gordy play. I had no clue at the time, really. But okay, please continue. But I appreciate
Yeah,
he played. I mean, he played halfback. He played free safety. Like,
Yep.
absolutely.
Wide receiver.
Yep.
And the numbers he
Oh,
put up
man.
were incredible. Like incredible.
Yeah,
He,
yeah, he was the returner too. Didn't he do the kick
Yes.
returns?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
He was the kick returner too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21,
Oh, my
2,100
God.
yards. 1 year.
Ah,
Yeah,
God.
he got drafted. He played for Pittsburgh,
Yep.
I believe. That was
Yep.
I remember he played for the Mass Marauders back when they had
I remember.
Yeah.
yeah, remember them, the Arena Football
Yep,
League.
I totally remember
His
them.
kid,
Yeah.
his kid's one of the nicest dudes I've ever talked to in my entire life. I'll tell you that. Definitely.
Yeah, it's a good kid.
Yeah.
The Mass
definitely.
Marauders.
Yep.
Yep.
Dave, how'd you do at the friendly house fighting?
Again, it was the roughest. I can't even picture. Well, get some guys on and talk about it. Was concrete walls
Yeah.
on 3 sides, and yeah, it was. You were in the penalty box most of the time. Unbelievable.
I got a buddy that does another podcast, and he was telling me about it. And he's got pictures. He claims it's like a crazy story. So we'll get him on.
He
All
ain't
right.
claiming. He ain't claiming. We're
Yeah.
talking. They had bus loads of cops come in at the finals.
Yeah,
It was,
he said that people left.
it was
their vehicles.
unbelievable. But you don't see that passion in sports no more.
No.
Yeah, it was a little bit overboard a little bit, but you don't see any of that passion anymore. You know,
Yeah, no,
you don't.
it's like the game. It's like Pete Rose running into home, running into the catcher. You don't see that. They're making it easier. They're saying these guys today are better athletes. I don't believe so. They're not tougher athletes. That's for damn sure. The athletes back in my 70s and 80s, they were unbelievable. Now the quarterbacks today, guys like Unitas and them guys, they didn't have these pansy rules,
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's why they look better.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I like it. I think so. Tom, I know you wanted to talk about Mac Jones.
Yeah, I did. Well, I first of all, I want to make sure I don't keep Steve or particularly Steve, because I know he's doing us a favor by being here, or Dave or Mike. Well, we just get talking about boring things. But yeah, I'm basically in North Carolina right now. I'm at Cape Cod, thus the background, which is live. But so I tune into, I don't know, I guess it's the equivalent of what used to be WEEI, and then there's the Sports Hub. They tell me Mac Jones is getting all these reps. He's looking great. And they also tell me Cam is saying all the right things. You tell me. You guys know better than I do. Please. I'm a believer in Mac Jones. That's all I'm saying. I like Cam. I really do. But I am a believer in Mac Jones. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Stop Mac Jones. Stop Mac Jones immediately.
Yep, I
What?
agree.
What'd you
Yeah,
say?
I mean-
Start him immediately.
Start him.
Okay. See, that's what I wanted to hear from guys who actually are paying more attention.
I like it. I like
That's-
that. I could get with it, but I mean, Cam is working hard. Who knows? If they change him somehow, who knows?
But so how
Yeah.
good has he looked? All I get is radio reports. So it's not like I'm looking at the video. I'm driving in the car. They're like, oh, he got 3 times as many reps as Cam. But they don't tell me how the reps look. And I don't know if that stuff's
I
even
mean,
broadcast.
the way, from what I've seen, he's looked good. I mean, obviously you're never gonna know the whole truth, but the way I look at it is with all the new acquisitions and a rookie quarterback, let them all start together and just roll the
All right.
dice.
Well, all right. So there's 5 of us on here now. I see, yeah, Dave, Mike, and Steve, and myself. How many of you think Mac Jones will start on opening day
I do.
out of the 5 of us?
I do.
Nope.
Nope.
So 2-2, and then me, who has no clue. So I'll just say, okay, it's a tie.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I don't know enough, but I'm fascinated by it. I was very glad they drafted him to at least give us a viable option. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? To go to. But
Yeah.
man,
Well,
it's-
I mean, nobody knows, but that's just my opinion. you
yeah,
know?
I know. But to me, it's
Opinions
just
are like
tough to
assholes.
bench
Everybody
it.
has one.
It's tough to bench a talent like Cam Newton, even though we know now he's well over the hill. Like he's already hit the hump, I think. But it's so hard to lose a guy like that, who was an MVP 5 years ago. Or
Johnny
however
Smith
many
is already
years
hurt.
ago. You know,
Yeah.
it's tough.
I mean, I can't sit through another season of Cam.
I know. He's so hard to
It was
watch.
so
He
bad.
used to be so fun to
bad.
watch. I know. I know.
The throwing
He's
game
like-
that game.
Steve, did you coach Dwayne McQuain from?
No.
Wasn't
didn't
he
coach
only
him.
name?
He was only name, yeah. I didn't coach him though.
That was long before Steve.
That was long before me.
That was like 10
Oh.
years before Steve.
So I'm the old man. I'm the old man in the group here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right. We'll kill him. Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
it just amazes me that you keep going, seeing the 2 teams in the league, and that amazes me that the drive, you keep doing it because, like you said, not too many people care like they did before, and that's kind of why I got out of it.
Right. I mean, like I said, with no kids in the right, no kids. I'm doing it because I like it.
And that's rare.
You must
as hell.
hate seeing-
Like there's I sent one of my son's coaches sent an email out just about how the games went this past Sunday and practice schedule, and I replied basically showing my appreciation.
Yep.
And saying that they don't have to do this. Like, they're volunteering their time.
Right.
There's so many, I don't care if my kids have had coaches that really could not help them develop, but in no way would I ever say anything, because these people are dedicating their time to help these kids in any way possible.
So I know one thing, Steve, is
What's that?
I've never forgot my coaches growing up. And I know one thing, there was a lot of kids out there that will never forget what you
Yep.
do for them. And
Yep.
and that's amazing. It's amazing that you can touch so many kids, because I remember my Little League coach, and he was a big my dad had just died and all that, and coaches are big in people's lives, and it all depends on and you've touched a lot of lives, and I tip my hat to you, sir.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. My dad was my coach at DiMaggio. Eastside Improvement Club. Were they still alive?
They
Yeah.
are. They're still one of our they're one of our sponsors.
That's right, baby. Strong.
That's
I
right.
love it. Eastside Improvement Club, man.
Who else was one of the sponsors?
We had back in the day, it
Excuse
was
me.
Toscanos, and we had Saxon Insurance. We had I don't know, the Paduas. I don't know if that was the name of their team, but that's what we called them.
Well, I think it was the name of their team,
yeah.
because they're still. I mean, They're not a sponsor anymore, but they've been gone out of the league for a while now.
Yeah. Well, let us know, man. Like I said, whatever league you got going on, if you need any help fundraising or whatever, we got you.
Thank you.
And what's about the golf tournament now?
September 18th at Leicester Country Club.
Yeah.
It's the Holy Name Alumni one.
Yeah.
This is year 31. Obviously, we didn't have it last year.
Definitely, relate that information because I'd love to play in that.
You can go on the Holy Name Alumni page on Facebook.
Yeah.
And if you go on my Facebook page the next couple of days, I'll be putting some stuff out there. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for golfers.
I'll get it up on the page when I put this on there for you. I'll tell everyone and get the info out there. But
yeah, definitely. I'll get a couple teams out there anyway.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then I'm trying to see if we can have a dinner after, because they've stopped doing dinner. They stopped doing their catering part of it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go up there this week to see what's going on, because the girl I've gone through retired, so I gotta see who's in charge up there now.
There you go.
Talk to them.
There you go. So Tom.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I took off for a second. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's a pattern.
Well,
Everyone
dude, I'm
above
on
it.
vacation, man, dude. I literally
get it.
had a skunk run in front of me during the broadcast.
Nice.
And I didn't say anything about it. So I want that credit.
You're better than me.
I almost freaked, but it went gently through the yard. So
You played that awfully cool. That's professional.
That's pretty good.
I was trying.
Jesus. So who do you think is going to be the next Celtics head coach?
Man, I was so disappointed when I saw that Brad Stevens, that we all had to come to the conclusion that Brad Stevens didn't work out. That was very disappointing to me.
Yeah.
And unlike last time when he was the top of my list and probably most people's list, I didn't have a guy. So now I'm looking at the guys that they're throwing at us. They're throwing us Chauncey Billups. Okay, I have no problem with Chauncey Billups.
Right.
Then they got
Jason
what's
Kidd.
his name? No, the guy with not Sam Cassell. Is it Sam Cassell?
Yeah,
Sam
Sam.
Cassell.
Yeah, Sam Cassell. I have no problem with him. I actually liked him on the Celtics bench a few years ago.
Absolutely.
So, but again, do I know if they're going to be able to, deal with the Tatums and the Browns, and all the dynamic? I like those two guys, and I don't know. What other names have been thrown out there? Anyone big to you guys?
Girls, Becky Hammond and
Oh, come on.
Come
on. We're not going to go with Becky Hammond, for God's sake.
Look at I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked.
I would be shocked. I would be shocked.
That's politically correct. Shocked.
Really,
it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother me.
Right.
The play is a straight run in the league. Like,
Yeah.
Look at the Nets. You know what I mean? It's like, do they even need a coach?
Really?
Well, I mean, that's the other thing is it's almost like it's a condescending thing to give the first position to a female to a team that literally is coachless. You know what I mean? That is not going to listen. They're not going to listen to her X's and O's. You know what I mean? They're really not. They wouldn't listen to a lot of men's X's and O's because they're better players than most of them and better strategists. They're all superstars.
Rebecca Lobo rookie guy.
I'm truly buying into the former player coach. Like recently, maybe in the last decade, retired. I'm really seeing that work.
Yeah, our friend Kev is the friend of the show. I don't know if he's on tonight. He he's talked about that quite a bit too. That at this generation of players, they need a player who is already a respectable player. You know what I mean? Who's like because that way they're not like getting challenged. You know what I mean? And you don't want to.
How about Zion Williamson won out?
What about Zion? What about him?
He's already
His
whining.
family wants him out.
Oh yeah. Oh no, where's he gonna go? I mean, come on.
Like, dude,
I wouldn't mind seeing.
play
I
2
wouldn't mind
years.
seeing him in Boston.
No, I'd love to see him
I
in
wouldn't
Boston,
either.
but I mean, those sort of deals, those don't happen overnight. I mean, that's gotta. I don't know what it would take to make that happen.
Yeah,
But
like Mike
he's
said,
like
the
20. He's
players
only
run
like
the
20
league.
years old. He's only like 20. I think.
Yeah.
I think he's 20.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like already he's pulling a LeBron. You know, it's like wait a few years. Wait a
There
few.
was a fake video going viral this week of him fighting in a parking lot or something. Did you see that?
I saw that video and somebody said, I think it's real. And when
No.
when I saw they said, I think, I'm like, I'm gonna watch it one time, and I realized it was totally wrong. I'm
He
like,
wouldn't
nope,
be
not
alone.
gonna.
Speaking of
Zion-
fights, I wanted to bring up real quick. This is one of the points I wanted to make is one of the I think for me personally, the greatest live sporting event for me was watching Jose Antonio Rivera fight Collazo at the Centrum.
Yeah, I heard that was really.
I
heard that was good.
It was
Yep.
it was the first boxing match I had ever seen, like professional live. And it was, I'm telling you, it was like almost spiritual. It was because it's a hometown kid, obviously. And I really can't explain. It was just one of the best things I've witnessed live for sports in my whole entire life. And
Thank you for sharing.
you're welcome.
No, that's cool. That's totally
Well,
cool.
what reminded me, because I last Saturday night I saw Bobby Harris.
Oh, Bobby.
How's he
Oh,
doing? He's still doing good, right? He's doing
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Bobby's
Yep.
always doing good.
He's
Excellent.
working. He was working the door at the old Emerald Isle. I don't know what it's called now.
Yeah.
But I
Taxi.
stopped down there to meet a friend for a drink, and he was there. So we started shooting the shit.
Probably called "I'll knock you the fuck out if you mess around" aisle.
He's
Oh,
always,
He's still very much like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
That's cool. Good for him. Good for him.
Well, guys, listen, we only got about 3 minutes left. I'm gonna wrap this up. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks for coming on, Steve. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the things.
I never wrapped it up because I got 6 kids.
Appreciate all the things you do for the community.
No problem. My pleasure.
Yeah.
Steve,
Thank
really.
you. Yeah. Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much.
It was
No
great
problem.
to meet you, Steve. Take care.
Good meeting you
Michael,
guys too.
thank you very much.
Bye.
Dave, thank you. Lincoln, thank you.
As always. Talk to you later, buddy.
See you guys.
Take care, guys.